You might not want to hear this, but your body could already be warning you that the end is closer than you think. Not with chest pain or a dramatic collapse, but quietly, silently, in the way your feet shuffle a little more than they used to, in the way your grip feels weaker when you open a jar, in the way you feel unsteady just getting out of bed. These aren't just signs of normal aging. They're red flags. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Are you one of those people who say, "I feel fine for my age," but deep down, you're not sure if that's actually true? If you've ever had that moment of doubt, even once type, "I'm listening now," in the comments. And if you're serious about staying sharp and strong after 70, make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next. After 70, every year becomes a gamble. And most people lose not because of disease, but because they ignore the signals their body has been sending all along. Think about it. Why did your neighbor same age as you stay active and alert, while someone else declined almost overnight? Why do some people stay sharp, mobile, and independent into their 90s, and others need help in their early 70s? It's not luck. It's not genes. It's what they noticed and what they did about it. The truth is, science has already identified 7 powerful signs that quietly predict how long you'll live and how well. Signs that show up in how you move, how you sleep, how you eat, and even how you connect with others. But here's the terrifying part. Most people miss them. Until it's too late. Until the fall happens. Until the memory slips become a diagnosis. Until the hospital bed becomes permanent. But not you. Not this time. In this guide, you'll learn exactly what to watch for and what to do about it. Because your body is talking. And if you listen now, you may have more years and better years ahead than you ever thought possible. Read carefully. One of these signs might already be happening to you. Sign 1. The speed you walk is the speed you age. You might not realize it, but the way you walk could be predicting how much time you have left. Not just how far you walk, but how fast. Research from leading geriatric studies has shown that your walking speed after age 70 is one of the strongest predictors of life expectancy. It reflects the state of your muscles, heart, lungs, balance, and even your brain. In fact, some doctors now refer to walking speed as a vital sign, just like your blood pressure or heart rate. Think about it. When was the last time you walked across the street without checking the timer first? Do you avoid stairs now, not out of laziness, but because they seem uncertain? Do you find yourself letting others walk ahead so you don't slow them down? That slow shuffle isn't harmless. It's often the first sign that your body is losing its ability to recover, to stay coordinated, to protect itself from decline. It's your body's way of saying, "I'm not keeping up anymore." Let me show you what this looks like. Joe is 75. Every morning, he walks around the block at a steady pace. He doesn't rush, but his stride is strong, balanced. He lifts his feet with purpose. He can still cross a street in time without thinking twice. Frank is also 75. He used to walk daily until he stopped. Now his steps are shorter. His balance feels off. He avoids crowded sidewalks. He started taking breaks halfway through the grocery store. Joe's body is holding up. Frank's is quietly failing. The scary part? Walking speed declines slowly, so you don't always notice it. And once your pace starts dropping, research shows that your risk of falls, hospitalizations, cognitive decline, and even death increases significantly. But there's good news. You can get it back. You don't need to run marathons. But if you've noticed your steps slowing down, start walking more. Walk with intention. Do simple strength exercises for your legs, like sit-to-stand squats or stepping over low obstacles. Use a cane if you need balance, not as a sign of weakness, but as a tool for strength. Because the way you move through life now could determine how long you keep moving at all. Sign 2. Your grip is telling you more than you think. If someone asked you to squeeze their hand, really squeeze it, how strong would your grip feel? Most people wouldn't think twice about it. But that handshake, it could be quietly revealing the future of your muscles, your independence, and your longevity. Studies have found that grip strength is a surprisingly powerful indicator of overall health in older adults. A strong grip isn't just about hands. It reflects your entire muscle system, your nervous coordination, and even your cardiovascular stability. In fact, Weak grip strength has been linked to increased risk of falls and fractures, faster muscle loss, sarcopenia, higher risk of hospital stays and death, declining brain function, and even depression. Let's break it down. Your hands are how you connect with the world. They help you open jars, carry groceries, hold your walker, bathe yourself, dress yourself, stay upright when you trip. When your grip starts to weaken, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Picture Robert. He's 78 and always prided himself on having a firm handshake. He still lifts light weights, opens jars without help, and enjoys doing yard work. Then there's Walter. Same age. But over the past year, he's noticed that even holding a full pot of coffee feels shaky. He skips carrying heavy groceries. He needs help opening bottles. At first, he laughed it off. But now, his legs feel weaker. He's stumbled twice in the past month. His doctor says his muscle loss is progressing faster than expected. That small change in his hands was the beginning of a bigger decline. But here's the truth most people don't hear. You can rebuild grip strength. Try this. Squeeze a tennis ball for 5 to 10 seconds at a time. Use hand grippers a few times a day. Carry light bags for short distances. Practice opening jars or twisting caps safely with support. These aren't workouts. They're lifelines. Because the strength in your grip isn't just about picking things up. It's about holding on to your strength, your function, your life. So if your hands have started slipping, don't ignore it. Don't wait. Grip harder. Rebuild. Hold on to everything you still can before it slips away. Sign 3. Your balance is more than just coordination. It's a window into your brain. Try this right now. Stand up and lift one foot off the ground. Close your eyes. Can you hold it for 10 seconds without grabbing a wall? If the answer is no, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Losing your balance isn't just a harmless part of getting older. It's a red flag. Because when your balance begins to fade, it's not just your legs, it's your nervous system, your reflexes, your brain. And when those begin to slip, everything else does too. Studies have found that poor balance in older adults is strongly linked to increased risk of falls and fractures, early signs of cognitive decline, slower reaction times and weakened proprioception, higher all-cause mortality in adults over 70. Balance is one of the first systems the body lets go of because it's one of the most complex. It requires your muscles, joints, inner ear, visual cues, spinal cord, and brain to work in perfect harmony in milliseconds. When one piece of that puzzle starts slipping, whether it's weak ankles or delayed brain signals, the entire system starts to collapse. Let me show you what that looks like. Carol is in her early 70s. She's not a fitness nut, but she's been doing yoga for years. She practices balance poses daily, even if it's just 5 minutes. When she walks, she turns corners without holding walls. Her posture is upright. Her confidence shows. Nancy, same age, same background. But she never trained her balance. Now, when she gets out of bed, she instinctively holds onto furniture. She stumbles more when she turns. She moves more cautiously, not because she's scared, but because her body has started warning her, I'm not stable. That loss of balance, it creeps in, quietly, until one day it's not quiet anymore. It's an ER visit, a broken hip, or the beginning of assisted living. But here's the best news you'll read today. Balance can be rebuilt. Even in your 70s. Even in your 80s. Try this. Practice standing on one leg for 10 seconds a day, next to a counter or chair for safety. Walk heel to toe in a straight line. Do light Tai Chi or yoga. No need to get on the floor. March in place with high knees to wake up coordination. You don't need to be athletic. You just need to show up every day and challenge your body to remember. Because when you reclaim your balance, you're not just standing stronger. You're protecting your independence, your brain, and your future. Sign 4. Your sleep isn't just rest, it's survival. Let's be honest, how's your sleep been lately? Do you toss and turn for hours? Wake up at 3 a.m. and stare at the ceiling? Feel exhausted even after 7 to 8 hours in bed? You're not alone. Sleep problems affect nearly half of all adults over 65. But what most people don't realize is that poor sleep in older age isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. Consistently poor sleep has been linked to increased risk of memory loss and Alzheimer's disease, higher blood pressure and heart disease, lower immune function and slower recovery, depression, weight gain, and insulin resistance. You see, sleep is when your body repairs itself, when your brain clears toxins, when your cells regenerate, when your immune system rebuilds after a long day. And when you're not getting enough deep, high-quality sleep, your body is aging faster than it should. Take Henry and Bill. Both are in their mid-70s. Henry goes to bed around the same time each night. He avoids caffeine after lunch, takes a short walk in the evening, and gets 7 hours of mostly uninterrupted rest. He wakes up with steady energy, clear thoughts, and emotional balance. Bill, on the other hand, has had trouble sleeping for years. He falls asleep with the TV on. He wakes up multiple times. Sometimes, he lies in bed until sunrise, tired but wired. Over time, Bill has developed brain fog. His blood pressure is up. He's more irritable, more forgetful, more sedentary. Sleep isn't just a symptom. It's the root cause. Here's the truth. You can't talk about longevity without talking about sleep. And no, it's not just about getting more hours. It's about getting better hours. What helps? Create a consistent sleep routine, same bedtime and wake up. Get natural sunlight in the morning to reset your internal clock. Avoid screens and bright light 1 hour before bed. Skip heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol in the evening. Use deep breathing or light meditation if your mind won't quiet. And if none of that helps, talk to a doctor. Sleep apnea, hormone changes, and restless leg syndrome are often missed in older adults. But don't accept poor sleep as just part of aging. Because how you sleep isn't just how you feel tomorrow. It's how strong and alive your body will be for the years ahead. Sign 5. If you're losing your appetite, you may be losing more than just weight. You may not feel hungry like you used to. Maybe meals don't excite you anymore. Maybe you skip breakfast more often, eat smaller portions, or rely on whatever's easiest in the freezer. But here's something few people will tell you. A shrinking appetite isn't harmless. It's a warning sign. As we age, changes in metabolism, hormones, and digestion can dull our hunger cues. But when your desire to eat fades, especially if you're unintentionally losing weight, your body begins to break down the one thing that keeps you functional: muscle. This condition has a name: sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. And it's one of the leading reasons older adults become frail, fall, and lose independence. Even worse, loss of appetite is often the first visible sign of underlying problems like depression or social isolation, poor nutrient absorption, cognitive decline, chronic inflammation, or undiagnosed disease. Let me introduce Margaret and Susan, both 74. Margaret still enjoys her meals. She cooks simple, colorful food, eats with family when she can, and snacks on fruit and nuts. Her weight is stable, her energy is steady, and her skin has a healthy glow. Susan used to love food, but over the past year, that changed. She skips lunch, eats toast for dinner, relies on packaged meals because she doesn't feel like cooking. Her clothes are looser, her muscles feel softer, and she gets winded just getting the mail. What Susan doesn't know is that she's slowly starving her body of strength, even if her stomach feels full. So if you've noticed any of these signs, decreased hunger, fatigue, loose-fitting clothes, or unintentional weight loss, don't brush it off. Here's how to fight back. Prioritize protein at every meal: eggs, fish, poultry, beans, Greek yogurt. Add healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts to boost calories. Eat smaller meals more frequently if large meals overwhelm you. Make food a social event. It boosts both mood and appetite. Consider a nutrition consult if you've lost over 5% of your weight in 6 months. Because eating after 70 isn't just about taste. It's about giving your body the fuel it needs to stay strong, steady, and independent. Sign 6. Chronic stress isn't just in your head, it's in your heart, brain, and lifespan. You may think you're just a worrier. Or maybe you've been through a lot and tell yourself, that's just life. But if you carry stress with you daily, if it sits in your chest, keeps you up at night, makes your heart race, or leaves you emotionally drained, your body is paying the price. In older adults, chronic stress has been directly linked to increased risk of heart attack and stroke, faster memory decline and dementia, elevated blood pressure and inflammation, weakened immune response, reduced quality and length of life. Why? Because stress doesn't just affect your mood. It floods your body with hormones like cortisol, which over time damage your blood vessels, disrupt your sleep, and throw off your digestion and immune system. It's like rust forming inside you, slowly eating away at your resilience. Meet John and Richard, both 76. John faces life's challenges like anyone else: unexpected bills, family tension, health scares. But he's learned how to cope. He journals. He breathes deeply. He talks to friends, prays, walks outside. He doesn't pretend stress isn't there, but he doesn't let it rule him. Richard, on the other hand, bottles everything up. He feels irritated by small things. He lies awake reliving old arguments. He carries every burden alone. And slowly, it's showing, in his blood pressure, his energy, his memory, and his face. The hard truth. Long-term stress ages your body from the inside out. But just like balance and strength, stress can be managed. Here's how. Practice deep breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 4, exhale 6. Keep a small gratitude journal. Even 3 words a day helps. Spend time in nature or sunlight daily. Talk to someone, a friend, therapist, support group. Use movement. Even 10 minutes of walking can help regulate cortisol. You deserve peace, not just in your heart, but in your body. Because how you handle stress after 70 isn't just about comfort. It could determine how long and how well you live. Sign 7. The loneliest symptom of aging is also the deadliest. Here's something most people don't see coming. Loneliness kills. Not immediately, but slowly, quietly, in ways science has only recently begun to fully understand. Studies have shown that lack of social connection in older adults can increase risk of heart disease by up to 29%, raise the likelihood of stroke by 32%, accelerate cognitive decline, increase risk of death as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. Loneliness is as toxic as heavy smoking. Why? Because human connection is biological. When we laugh, touch, talk, or feel seen, our brains release chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine that calm inflammation and regulate hormones. Without connection, your body enters low-grade emergency mode. Subtle stress, sleep disruption, poor digestion, foggy thinking. And the longer it continues, the deeper it sets in. Take Eleanor and Barbara, both 78. Eleanor calls her sister every Sunday. She joins a book club. She doesn't have many friends, but she nurtures the ones she has. She laughs often. Her calendar isn't packed, but her heart feels full. Barbara lives alone. She's polite but distant. Her family rarely visits. She tells herself she's just fine being independent. But she spends days without speaking. Her energy fades. Her motivation shrinks. And she started forgetting simple things, not from illness, but isolation. If this sounds familiar, it's time to act. Reach out. Call someone you haven't talked to in a while. Join a community group, hobby club, or volunteering event. Make conversation a daily ritual. Even a 5-minute chat matters. Consider a pet, if your health and lifestyle allow. Say yes more, even when it feels easier to stay in. Connection doesn't require a crowd. Just one meaningful interaction a day can change your brain chemistry and your life expectancy. Because the people you let in today might be the very reason you're still alive 5 years from now. Now that you know the signs, what will you do with them? You've just learned 7 of the most important and overlooked signs that could determine not only how long you live after 70, but how well you live. So take a moment. Breathe. Reflect. Are you seeing any of these signs in yourself? Have you been walking slower, sleeping less, eating less, or feeling more alone than you realized? Have you brushed off subtle warnings from your body, assuming they were just normal aging? Because they're not just normal. They're calls for action. This is the moment to check in with yourself, honestly and gently, and ask, what changes do I need to make, starting now, to give myself the best chance at more years, better years, and fuller years? You're not powerless. In fact, you're more in control than ever. Here's the beautiful truth. Your future is not set in stone. Yes, you've aged. Yes, some damage has been done. But the human body, even in its 70s, 80s, and beyond, is remarkably responsive. When you feed it well, move it often, rest it deeply, and surround it with connection and calm, it gets stronger. It heals. It adapts. It surprises you. Every small change you make, walking an extra block, calling an old friend, lifting a soup can, breathing deeper before reacting, it all adds up. And what you gain isn't just extra years. It's the freedom to enjoy those years with clarity, strength, and peace of mind. Because real longevity isn't measured by time alone. It's measured by the quality of life you get to experience in those extra days. We're glad you're here, and you're not alone. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope these signs gave you new insight, and more importantly, hope that change is possible, no matter your age. If something in this guide resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you. What sign surprised you the most? What's one change you're inspired to make starting today? Leave a comment, share your story, or pass this along to someone you care about. You never know who else might be quietly struggling, or waiting for the right words to act. Remember, you're not on this path alone. There's a growing community of people just like you, older, wiser, and ready to fight for a better future. We'll be here, cheering you on every step of the way. See you in the next guide.